The Hood Smoker Podcast and Chester McFly and Jay Gutta. That's Chester McFly. The fuck? Y'all ain't allowed to
What's
watch this
good?
shit. What y'all watching? I forget. What did I title it? I titled it what you suggested. Uh,
Don't watch this.
oh yeah, don't watch this.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a kid. You know what I mean? You tell a kid, "Don't touch that," and then I see my daughter picking up the shit I told her not to touch.
Exactly. That's how it is too. That's why it's kind of similar to what Blantonio came up with. Like, what the fuck are you watching, or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
Quick got it. And he sent me that crazy first time he sent me some picture of a fucking, I think it was a chimpanzee hugging a rabbit or a cat or some shit.
Hmm.
Fuck. And then the other time it was like Garbage Pail Kids and fucking rainbow colors and all this shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, I'm
That's
twisting up.
why I set the panda and shit. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
panda one's similar.
Yeah, I would have done that, but we got a homie, Panda Chop, and I was like, I want him to think that we put
Uh,
shit. So I didn't use the Panda one, but that is funny. I'm gonna actually send that picture to him. I might send it to Cuban Link. He might clown Panda Chop on that. Shout out Panda Chop if you watching this though. That's my homies Panda Chop and Cuban Link. We gonna have the Link and Panda show on the Hood Smoker podcast. You might want to join that one because that's where we're gonna be. It's not gonna be an interview because we've already had Cuban on three times, and so we're thinking we'll do they're doing the Lincoln Panda show where they talk about everything. Like they've been talking a lot about the rap beefs and the diss tracks, but they talk about everything, the Diddy shit, everything that's going
yeah.
on. So I figured it'd be an episode like that.
Yo, did you see that? Did you see that short I put out not that long ago, where the newscaster mispronounced rapper and he was talking about Drake?
Yeah.
He said grape. He said graper. You know what I mean? He said graper Drake. I was like, what did he say? I put that shit out there.
Yeah, no, I got a feeling my wife probably gonna tell me. She has messaged me. Like, are you outside?
Hmm.
Like, yeah. There's a blunt on the table if you want to smoke it. That's
Where's
crazy.
McWig Splitter? Yeah, every time I say his name, he jumps in there. It's crazy.
I know. I think I got. Let me see what I got my CD for. I'll fuck around and throw some Flint Town Dayton family on and make Wicks sweater hot pound. Dog. I'm telling you, every
That's
fucking
funny.
time. Hold on, let me see what I got. I don't know what I got up in here right. Oh no, I don't got the Dayton family and everything. I don't feel like switching it all around. But yeah, man. Shout out to Southwest CC. I know you probably tuned in right now. You know, I don't want to smoke while you sleeping and shit, so I came out here to smoke. And we chopping it up with the homie Chester McFly, the Philly homie. I'm gonna upload that short too and shit. No, that's what I mean. Any type of stuff going on like in Philly and shit, like that's kind of how I was doing like the street reporter, like, and that shit caught on when I was doing it in Detroit, and then I changed it just like since we had the Hood Smokers podcast to In the Hood with Gutter, because I started doing. I wasn't like just like doing like that reporting shit, like seeing shit like that. I was just riding around the hood and just catching different shit. But fucking you should do shit like that though. In like the Philly version, I told you I was fucking with talking with Fresh Kid Ice's son. Rest in peace, Fresh Kid Ice from Two Live Crew. His son, Chris Wong Jr. from he lives in Miami. He owns one of them bike shops and shit, and he was sending me videos of what they were doing out there and
Hmm.
shit. Like, I mean, he was talking about he knew a A&R at Netflix, talking about a possible. He was like, these videos are gonna be worth money one day. You know what I'm saying? People gonna want to know about this pandemic and lockdown and how many people really were locked down. Like, I didn't lock
Yeah.
down. You know what I'm saying? I was out there every fucking day, dog. I was in downtown Detroit where there weren't even bums out, dog. There weren't nobody was out. It was dead. I'm walking through the middle of the heart of downtown and nobody out, not even cops. The cops got mad because I exposed them for not being out. And I see somebody dropped a comment in the chat.
Yeah, yeah. Is it y'all
Oh, shout out
serious,
to
bro? He
Travis.
called Drake. Drake. A chomo. He ain't too far from the truth. I
Yeah,
mean,
no,
yo,
that's the
that's
homie Travis
crazy.
Smith. Yeah. Shout out
That's
Travis Smith.
that's crazy. You see that there's these videos of Drake with all these young girls and then Millie
Sean, did you
Bobby
see him on
Brown.
stage? What is the
Yeah,
girl
Millie.
was like, I'm 17. He's like, how old are you?
Yeah. And he's like,
And then
oh,
he
why do
kissed
you
her
look
and
like
broke.
that?
Yeah, dog. Dude's a fucking. He's a pedo. Chomo, I know we ain't supposed to really say that too much on YouTube, so we
Yeah, that's
keep
why I
it.
said Chomo. Chomo's cool.
Chomo.
You know,
Yeah,
yeah.
he like little kids, man. Drake like little kids. I hate to say it. And you know what I keep wondering is why haven't they uh hey, yo Gutta pass me some.
Yeah, we got you.
You got the notification, Chavi Smith. I was just telling Chester McFly. Some people get notified, some people don't. I don't know why. It's like they sometimes it'll notify people when we go live. Sometimes it don't. When they're hating and shit. But yeah. Shout out to Chavi Smith. He always be tapping in and shit and fucking. He's been rocking with us since we started pretty much. But
Yeah,
yeah. What
but
we
yeah,
saying?
I go into Philly, yo, and I always see crazy shit. A lot of times, like I'm doing deliveries, and it's like telling me to turn on certain streets, and I'll see something crazy, like right when I got to fucking turn. You know what I mean? So like I
Mhm.
don't film it, and I'm like fuck. And then like afterwards, I'm like, oh, should I go back? And then I got other shit to do. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. Like no matter what it is, I just keep it moving. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, dog. Cause what they you're right there by where they're doing the Palestine and Israel and all that shit
Like,
protest.
I filmed that today. Yeah, I was down there. It's not like what you think, man. They show on the news like all these people there. They
Yeah, it
got
never.
tents there, but it's like a quarter of the people that are there. Um, and there's like media guys there, then they go home. And like the people at the tents and shit go home too. So it's like it's not what you think. You know what I mean? Like I went there, like it's small little area. It make it look like the whole fucking campus is full. I've been doing deliveries all throughout that campus for like weeks. I didn't even know where the fucking thing was. I just had to do a delivery by the shit, and I drove my bike by there, and I just started filming. I was getting pretty good numbers and shit, and
Mm,
yeah,
yeah,
people were fighting in the comments and shit. I don't give a shit. I was like, let them go.
that's what I'm
But
saying. If you do that again, I'll jump in and moderate because I'll probably be at work when you do that. When you were doing it earlier, I was probably working and shit. But fucking, what time you going down there?
I gotta get down early, or I gotta go. Fuck, I gotta go to my doctor's tomorrow at
Uh,
like 2:30. So if I go, I might go out early in the morning, maybe. So it
that'd be good.
depends.
If I'm driving, I'll tap in live with you. Otherwise, I'll watch it and moderate as much as I can and shit. Like, and drop some comments in the chat, get my opinions, go at it with the trolls and shit.
But yeah, it's
Smash
small
like,
though.
baby. Share this shit around. Everybody who comes in, smash like, share it around. Y'all can't watch it,
Absolutely.
though. I'm Jay Gutter, Chester McFly. The 217 right now in Detroit and in Philly. So fuck y'all doing up so damn late. Fuck. And I've been taking like dog, that's what people don't realize, man. Like I was just saying, like this shit's like fucking more work than fuck like me and Blatonio was talking. Like I should could have just stayed fucking making music, rapping and doing shows, going to the studio. It's like this podcast and shit, it's work, dog. Like
I
I'm
know
trying
it
to
is.
really
Yeah.
do it 24/7. Like my wife would think I'm talking to like she like, well, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to all the time? It's like I'm talking to like 50 different people. I'm trying to book these guests. Like I'm hitting up every legend, like taking the long shots. Because when I found out, you'd be surprised how many like people you think you can't reach that are reachable. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
after a while, it's like okay, I feel like I can talk to anybody. When 50 Cent calls your phone, dog, you feel like you could talk to anyone. When you talk to Jimmy Iovine on the phone, you feel like okay, now I could talk to anybody. Like anybody's like reachable and shit. Nobody's too big. I mean, fucking it, and as long as certain people are like that, you got the stars that are like stuck up and think they're better than everybody, and then you got the people you try to hit up that are struggling real bad, and they ain't doing it for the love. They just want to make a couple dollars to get their next hit or whatever and shit. You know what I'm?
Yeah.
So I ain't gonna say no names, but I know you had a little thing with a guy out your way, and we've had that same thing s- with a couple
I
people.
won't even talk to you without money. What the fuck you talking about, man? You know anybody trying to buy a lawnmower? It's
And this is
crazy.
the fucking dog. That's sad to me, dog. Like You was a fucking MC with one of the fucking dope. I don't want to put too much out there because everybody knows you're from Philly too and shit. So I
Yeah.
say too much, they'll know who I'm talking about. Man, what the fuck? My charger getting fucked. But no, it's
I'm going
sad
up
'cause
to
you
that.
think these dudes was like big time one time. I mean, they was all over the place, and now they're selling lawnmowers and shit.
Yeah.
Used lawnmowers and shit. Like, man, like you went from fucking being like going to like the BET and MTV award type shit to now you're fucking out there slanging fucking lawnmowers and shit. Like it's just sad, dog. Sometimes when you think about it, I mean, just like our buddy Benzino, dog. That motherfucker was worth. He was a multi-millionaire, dog. Now he's at the Red Roof Inn and shit with some dude and shit like that, and he's fucking begging us for $500 for fucking a interview and other
Yo, they
people.
all be getting money, man, like that. He'd be watching my he's been watching my TikTok and like I see him like on my Facebook and shit. So he's my
Yeah.
friend on both and shit. He don't say shit to me. I send him a couple things. Like I sent him a picture of Raven Simone and said, looks like Raven Simone like Benzino. I said it to him and shit. And he didn't say that. I wanted to like talk shit. Like I'm
You're
waiting
just
for him to
gonna
say
get him
something
to,
back.
that's what you're gonna get is him talking shit to you. That if you get a response, you should have just hollered at him, though. You probably could have got him on the show and shit. I mean, fucking, he's a fucking troll, anyways, dog. Like, cause the reason I got into it with him had nothing to do with Eminem. You know what I'm saying? He tried to make it
Yeah.
like that's what it was. Cause as soon as he found out, oh, he's a white rapper, he's from Detroit, you're a stan and shit. Like, nah, though, you don't like I can't even name Eminem's last few albums. You know what I'm saying? The names of them, I fucking that's real talk. I mean, no diss to Eminem. I think he's one of the dopest MCs around and shit to ever
Murder.
bust the mic.
Music be murdered by, I know that. And then I was just thinking when you said that, it was funny. And then Marshall Matters too. And I was a while back.
Yeah, I
Uh,
had that, like the first few albums I was copping like.
oh, Kamikaze.
Yeah,
That
see,
joint was actually all right.
I didn't cop that. I never copped that. No, is we good with Benzino or what? What do you mean by good with Benzino? I mean, we ain't got
I'm
no
cool with him.
problem. Yeah, we ain't homies and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he's following us on TikTok and we ain't following them back. I mean, and he's commenting to us when there's like other trolls leaving comments under there. We ain't trolls though. Maybe that's why. But actually, we might actually have him on the Hood Smokers podcast, Chabby. So get ready for that episode. Shout out to Ryan Glover. Damn, let me turn this interior light
Yeah, I
on.
seen that shit with that dude, what should we call it? Orlando, that guy Orlando who used to be
Oh
Kids
yeah,
Act.
that
Yeah,
the dude
he's
who was from wasn't he from that show? I'm So Raven.
Yeah. So he was on this one show with the blue couch or whatever. They made like a
Mhm.
meme out of it. So he was on there. He's like, next time y'all ain't gotta give me. He said like 5 grand. He said some crazy. I think it was 5 grand or 12 grand. But he like they pay him. That's how much they paying their guests to come on that show. So
That's
you see all
crazy.
them views and shit. You be like, yeah. They pulling it off. They cool with everybody. Nah, they slanging money, man. They getting money together and
And
paying
plus,
these
they're
motherfuckers.
paying for the views too and shit. They're paying for views. They're paying for subscribers. I mean, fucking, it's so cheap now to get like subscribers. I've had so many fucking. I constantly, I try to block them, but they constantly
I get
mess.
yeah. I don't trust them people though. They just want to take your money.
It
I don't
happens,
trust
dog.
them.
I'm not gonna say the person's name I know that said he was like, I'm gonna try it real quick just to get a couple thousand subscribers real fast and try it. He started up a YouTube channel. This is what happened. Look, he has 600 subscribers already. This is off music. Was a rapper, one of my homies. And because we always was like always anti, he was the same way. Fuck that pay to play. Like if it ain't they ain't real fans, then you don't want them anyways. Rather have a few real
Exactly.
fans
Yeah.
than a million fake fans. So fucking he was like he paid this dude, one of them guys. I think he dude was from India or something and shit. He got him it took about a week. He got him up to the 2000 like he said he was. But then it was like YouTube caught it, dog, because they know they can tell how fast your shit's going up and all that. And all of a sudden, if they see something change like that, all of a sudden, because he went from the 2000, all of a sudden it went down like to 700. He went from three something to like 2,000. Then it went down to 700 and something, and then it went back up to like 1,000 and some. And then it like when it got to that point, it kind of like started. He didn't give the guy no more money or pay for no more subscribers after that. It was organic after that, but it was still the YouTube catches shit like that. Like I've even noticed on some of my videos, I'll have like hold up, I just had over 1,000 views on this video. Why is it saying 700 now and shit? Like they take
Yeah, I
views.
have that happen to me. Yeah, I have that happen to me, especially off lives. Like the lives, it'll
Oh
say
yeah.
like 2,000, and I went back and like 1,300. Like what the fuck? Like where did 800 views go? Or like when you rewatch it right away, it's like 2 views. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And you have like 1,000 views. What the fuck are they talking
They
about?
don't keep the live views on there, dog. They don't keep them on there because they got to go through and they got for some reason on the lives they have to. I don't know. YouTube goes back through it, make sure you wasn't saying nothing you weren't supposed to say, and especially if the chat is going crazy, then they like the held for review messages. That definitely is gonna get you. And you notice the live chat won't come back on for like a day sometimes. Shit, I've had videos, lives, Hood Smoker podcast episodes where they didn't release the live chat for like over 2 days. I'm like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
yeah, yeah. That happened to me. But episode with you when I did that. I don't know what you said, or you said something, and then like remember I told you like it removed the episode, then they came back later. It's weird. You know what I'm talking? Remember I told you about that?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it's what certain shit you say. Like we probably already said a couple things that might make the live chat not come back on because they might want to review it and shit. But it's all good. Shout out to YouTube, man. I think YouTube is the dopest streaming platform though out here. Out of all of them, I think YouTube's the one to be on. Though I always said that too and shit. Like I'm on Twitter. I've been on
Yeah,
Instagram. I could
I'll
Twitter kind
freak
of
you
was
out.
like I can't really fuck with Twitter though. I tried to, but it was like it's too much. It gets overwhelming with all these damn social media sites. But Instagram,
You see
Facebook, because
that?
people were telling me, huh?
Philly Roach, man. Look at them big motherfuckers, yo.
Oh
It's
yeah,
Philly.
uh, yeah, we got roaches out here in Detroit too. But the biggest roach I ever seen in my life was in Texas, dog. Them motherfuckers were like alien roaches and
Yeah,
shit,
these
dog.
youngs like this big, man. They're pretty big up here. I
Shit, I
like it,
remember
man.
when I was in Wayne County Jail and shit. Fucking, I woke up
New
because like
message.
one man cell.
Oh, turn
Oh,
that
there
off.
was a message held for review. Oh, yeah, Shabby's good. His messages can go through. I know he's good. He's been rocking with us for a while. You know what, Shabby? Where the fuck is you from, dog? You've been rocking with us for so long. Now you caught us live. Like I said, this is the chance for the fans of the Hood Smoker podcast to actually chop it up with us and talk some bullshit. We can say our opinions about shit. It ain't all about the guests. It's all about us right now. You know what I'm saying? We can talk. That's why we said you can't watch these. Because if we want to say that, we can say that. Oh, Southwest CC. I love you, Southwest CC. My wifey. I didn't
What
want to
up,
smoke by
Southwest
you. You
CC?
know what I'm saying? I know it'll mess with your. I don't want to interrupt your sleep. So I came outside to smoke and chopping it up with the homie Chester McFly
Don't
from
feel bad.
Philly.
My girl's sleeping too.
Yeah, fucking But yeah, roaches. We was talking about roaches. What the fuck? And the
I
Wayne
just seen
County
one just
Jail.
walk by. It scared the shit out of me. Looked like a little dog.
Dog, I
Thought
was
they
in Wayne County Jail, fucking, and I woke up. Our toilets and sinks was like the metal ones. They're all one piece, and your bunk is your whatever is right bed's right next to it. And they were one man cells. They lock you down at
yeah,
night, walk out on the rock. Well, I woke up. This fucker was eating my bar of soap, dog. That motherfucker was fucking dog. It was like fucking big as hell eating my soap. I had they had these things in Wayne County Jail called cool shots. People used to call them kidney shots because they said that it would fuck your kidneys up real bad. Like I used to dump half of like it was stain shit. Like if you poured it on something, it would stain it, clothes, anything, floors, it stained shit. And this is what they were giving us to drink, and they called them cool shots. It was supposed to be some kind of like juice box shit, but they're
yeah.
bigger. Well, I opened one up and I caught the roach and shit. And there was a dude from Iraq who was in there. He was in there for international stalking, dog. And he was from Iraq. He was actually in Saddam Hussein's what was that military called? The Public, whatever of Iraq. He was a part of
Yeah,
that. They were gonna send him
Bath
back.
party.
Yeah, he could have got away. He would rather have done life in prison in America than get sent back to his country. He had everybody.
Yeah,
He had
they kill
everybody.
you there.
Yeah, that's what he said. And he spoke English to us, but he had everybody in the court and in prison and all that, or in the jail, thinking he didn't speak English. He had an interpreter that used to come with his lawyer and pull him off the rock, and the depths didn't think he spoke English, but we used to chop it up with him. But he freaked out when I caught the roach, dog. I gave it to this one cat from the east side. I mean, I'm young. I was probably like 21. I think, and I gave it to, but this cat was even younger than me, young cat from the east side, from like 17, 18. I was like, look, dog, I caught the roach. I could look at the size of this motherfucker and shit. Like, that was gonna be the pet, the rock pet. You know what I'm saying? We gonna have that
Hmm.
bitch on the rock. But then fucking as soon as we showed it to dude from Iraq, seen it, dog, he freaked out. He was like, oh, no, no, no. Oh, yeah. He grabbed it. Ah, he ran over to the toilet. He dumped that bitch in the toilet. It was like, boom, hit the button. And that bitch was gone. We was like, actually, dude from the east side seemed like he was a little upset about it. I didn't really give a fuck. I just wanted to show people, like, look, look at how big this fucking roach is, dog. Like, this bitch is probably 1,000 years old.
Yeah, but maybe he didn't understand you, and he just like he thought you were like giving it to him to get rid of it. You know what I mean?
He
I
freaked
got
out,
it.
bro.
Oh.
He ended up getting snatched off our rock because one of the dudes, my boy Bird, this dude Bird, he was back on the rig. He fucked with this dude, and he like was playing with him. He like went crawling in his cell while he was sleeping and grabbed his bag of zoom zooms and wham whams, nutty bars and shit like that. And dude jumped up because he was an older guy and he was like, "What you doing? What you doing?" Bird was he starts yelling for the depths and Bird like kind of gripped him up and held him against the wall. I was like, "Shut the fuck up! I'm just fucking with your ass. Shut the fuck up!" Like Bird was a big cock, strong cock diesel dude. Just did 10, 15 years and the Jordan was back on his case for something else. So he was like. He was fucking ready to go. He had fucking teeth missing and shit from getting, not from fucking drugs, but from getting in fights and shit. You know what I'm saying? But next thing you know, the dude's like, dip on three, dip on three, dip on three. The dude from Iraq, he ran to the bars yelling at, dip on three, dip on three. And the Deps came. They took them both off the rock and shit. Man, Southwest CCU, I think you scared everybody away. They seen that blue wrench and they got scared. You scared them away. They see that Southwest. They don't want to fuck with Southwest.
I'm telling.
Shout out to the Southwest Detroit. Shout out to Southwest Philly. Shout out to the
Hell yeah.
Southwest America, Arizona. Yeah,
Yeah, I be doing lives too, like on my bike and shit, just like driving around, like I said,
yeah. I
the
was
neighborhood,
gonna ask
right?
you,
So
dude, you got a fucking motor on that fucker? Cause you was moving on that bitch. I'm like, damn, does this motherfucker got one of them motors on there and
I
shit?
used to. No, that's a fucking a single speed bike, man. You know what I mean? Like no gear. The shit sucked. It's
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah, that's
But yeah, I
crazy.
be hauling ass on that shit.
Okay.
Philly's
That's
pretty flat though.
that's good content, though. People like watching that. Like I didn't know Bedlam, who he's a big deal. I think he actually got us our most to this day, and it's been like almost 2 years since we had Madness from Bedlam on, and he got us the most live eyes on one time on the live and shit. Like it was crazy. It was going crazy, and it was like he had a lot of trolls, people that hated him. He had a lot of haters, but he had a lot more love than he had hate. And he was like, I didn't realize how big he was in the underground, but he was like, he was watching all my street reporter videos. I did shows with this dude like back in the days in Saginaw. They're from Saginaw, Michigan. And I'm thinking like, back in the 90s and shit, in the late 80s and then the 90s, I didn't think anybody from Saginaw was blowing up on the underground, even on the underground. I thought it was just like if you weren't from Detroit or Flint, you really didn't stand a chance because it was hard enough from rappers from Detroit and Flint to blow up back then. In the like nationwide, if you try to think about how many like mainstream artists actually came from Michigan and shit. And like people used to think MC Bree was from the West Coast and shit. I just recently heard a West Coast rapper shout out and he said Bree's name along with side Tupac, Ice Cube, talking about yeah, my West Coast influences and MC Bree was one of them and shit. And was like even Blantonio told me that he thought he was from the West Coast,
I
but
told
he
you I
was
thought Exhibit was from the West Coast,
yeah,
and
he's from
Exhibit's from
well,
fucking Detroit.
Yeah, he's from the east side of Detroit, but he moved out to the West Coast, so he embraced it. He moved out there. He was young. I mean, he still went to school out there, but he was. I can't say the age, so don't quote me. Shout out to Exhibit. You know what I'm saying? He's the one who brought Cuban Link and them to Detroit and shit. They did a show, but that's when they was still rocking with Terror Squad and Pun was still alive and shit. Fucking Exhibit brought him here to Detroit, and they had a bad experience. But when Cuban Link came here without Fat Joe, he was in the studio with Eminem and Mr. Porter and shit and fucking Count artists. You know what I'm saying? All the D12,
Yeah.
couple D12 artists. Said he had a real good time in Detroit, so he's coming back here and shit. We're bringing Cuban Link to Detroit and shit. Fucking think we're just trying to get the venue. We want to get everybody to come out here. That's why we're trying to get this shit to pop like this and with the sponsors. Because, yeah, the monetization will be dope, but we just already know, dog, with our content and with all that and with what we're doing. Like, even if, like, I don't even want to put it in the air, but if something happened and, like, they tried to, like, we ain't
Yeah,
going,
yeah, yeah.
go nowhere. That's why we don't want to be dependent on that. We want to have, like, how we had when we started, we had a sponsor that was like that's how we got our first batch of merch and everything. We had a sponsor, and it was on the move, Detroit on the move transportation, which was like kind of like a Detroit Uber, but he'd go anywhere. And but that was my dog too. He owned a lot of different companies, but he was putting money behind it. It was, DeAndre Kelly, and rest in peace, DeAndre Kelly. They found him murdered over off 7 Mile and Kelly on the east side of Detroit. Found him on the stairways butt naked with just a sheet around his waist. Nobody knows what
That's
happened.
fucked up.
He thinks some bitches set him up. He had money, you know what I'm saying? His mom had just passed during COVID from COVID.
Oh, like so this is recent, recent.
Yeah, yeah, dog. He was the if you watch the whole first season of the Hood Smoker podcast, he was actually on a couple episodes like when we did the roundtables, but I did a commercial, I ad every time and I it was on the move Detroit on the move transportation. I was like even if you in Cali, he'll come swoop you up. No matter where you at, New York, Philly, Cali, Houston, hit up Detroit on the move transportation. Like,
Hmm.
so put the number, websites, all that shit. But yeah, actually the homie Dice he hit me up too because when they found his body it went viral on live because somebody was videotaping it live and was like, "Yep, they got another one on the east side, another one on the east side of Detroit." And there's all these people in the chat
Mm.
and showing like the cops are all out there, the fucking corn, whatever the EMS, all that. But
Yeah.
yeah, it happened during the pandemic shit because his mom had passed and he inherited like man so much fucking money, dog. And people was trying to get at him, and he already was getting money. He been a hustler his whole life and shit. And fucking that he was plugged in with
No, I
Southwest.
could. I had something similar happen to me, man. People fucking dirty, man. People real fucked up when you get money, man.
Yeah, for sure. No, they that then shit, like they say, like fucking yeah, people use you for that. That's how you find out who your real homies are. And some people are good with that. That's what I mean by like Drake. I feel like Drake surrounds himself around with people like that. And like fucking like Kendrick might be a little bit different. But I don't know. Kendrick might be he might too and shit, dog. I don't know. Cause I see he
He's in New York now, so I
yeah,
mean,
that's what I mean. Like so did he bring his Compton homies to New York and shit with him? I mean,
I don't know.
like,
What do you think's up with that day free shit? Like, you think like maybe that's why him and his girl left because his manager like got his wife pregnant allegedly. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And that's why he went to New York, and that's why he's living there.
yeah, I'm not sure, dog. I really don't know enough about that to even talk about it. I heard it on the diss track, and I didn't even know about. Like, I was like, damn, I wasn't
Yeah,
up on this shit. Like, so that's what I mean. That's why I made sure I went back and listened to those diss tracks a couple times, like more than a
yeah,
couple
me
times,
too.
because I wanted to make sure I was. Because if I was gonna speak on them, it just happened to be. It was funny when Drake dropped that last one, we was live with not Drunken Mass, shout out Drunken Mass, but we was live with Chant Town.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah, yeah. That shit was
he
fire
brought
when
it.
he dropped.
Yeah, we were talking about it and shit, and it dropped. And Champ's like, yeah, I don't think Drake's gonna be able to respond after that last Kendrick and shit. You know what I'm saying? He
Mhm.
was like saying that he don't think, and he was breaking down his whole reasoning why he thought Drake wouldn't respond. And then after we were still live, he got
Yeah,
the show.
yeah, yeah.
We were doing the end of the show where me and Brother King X and Blantonio Tyler talking our shit at the end of the show and shit, and telling people what's coming, what to look forward to, and all that, shouting people out, all that. And I got a message from Champ Town, like, I was wrong, bro. Laugh out loud, and he sent me the video and shit, and it said it dropped an hour ago from when he sent it to me and shit. So it was while we were live. So I played it on the phone twice, like holding the phone up to the fucking shit. I don't know how good. I didn't go back and listen to see how
Yeah,
good
that was the heart. That was when he dropped the Heart 6, I think, right?
it
The
was. The
last
last
one he
one.
put.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
last.
I was the last one I wasn't impressed with.
Yeah,
He was basically like trying to like clear his name instead of like getting at Kendrick more. You know what I mean?
right.
He should
Yeah,
have got at Kendrick more. It should have been, you know what I'm saying? Like it should have been like, maybe if he had more dirt, but maybe he just can't find none. You know what I mean?
that's what it is. Like Kendrick said, quit telling truth or lies on me, and I'll quit telling the truth on you and shit. Type
Yeah,
shit. You know what I'm saying? No, Kendrick moved to New York. Chavy's,
yeah.
Chavy's, Chavy Smith.
Yo, and then Drake's house. So listen to this. Drake's house got fired upon. Somebody shot up his crib, and what should be called? They said the security guard got hit in the chest or something. They found him unconscious. So hopefully he's good. You know, I hope that guy's a security
Yeah,
guard. I don't want to see nothing
yeah,
wrong
yeah,
happen
no,
there.
no doubt, no doubt.
You know what I mean?
He
But then they
would have
said
thought.
they had a meeting. I seen like where the police chief from Toronto was talking, and he said that yeah, Drake's fully cooperating. They're fully cooperating with us. They said, I heard that shit. I was like, oh, this is so bad. And after that, the report I put out there, he said the graper, the graper Drake, I mean rapper. And I had a video of the little guy going, Jesus Christ. After I was like, yo, what did
Yeah, I'm
he
gonna have to check
say?
it out. Chavy Smith,
Yeah.
go check out Chester McFly's channel for real. All you gotta do is punch in Chester McFly. Damn, my fucking door just flew open and shit. The
I
wind
like
is.
what Champtown said though. He had a really good point though on YouTube. He said YouTube's where it's at and he doesn't understand it, but he said you just gotta throw a lot of shit in different directions and hope something sticks. That's what I do with the karate shit. You know what I mean? Like
Right, right. Yeah,
you know
for
what I
sure.
mean? I started doing all kinds of shit and then I
And you
was
got a
going back in my
variety, dog.
videos.
A
Yeah.
variety of content, dog. You gotta have variety and shit too. And
I
like,
definitely do.
yeah, and that like we always called ourselves since we started. That's why we liked having Saturday Night Live, like having a Saturday night show. We always was
Yeah.
on Saturdays, even when we was doing like three,
I
four
see.
episodes a week, shit. But Saturday Night Live of the hood, our Mad TV of the hood, and we bring serious shit. We'll talk. We'll get serious with it. We could talk about whatever. Like if the guests want to take it there, you know what I'm saying. But if it, otherwise, we try to like bring comedy. I mean, especially in these the fucked up world we're living in now and shit. Fuck. Hold on, let me get some light on the situation. Shine some light on the situation. But yeah, in the fucked up
Oh,
times,
me upstairs.
yeah, like fucking Pac and fucking that song Pac and Scarface did Smile. Like you gotta smile.
Yeah,
Like
that song was crazy when that came out. Did you ever see that video?
oh yeah, a million
S
times.
I remember when that video first came out, and then like the dude jumped off the cross, and like
Mhm.
I'm in like middle school. I'm like, oh shit, he's alive! He's alive! I knew he was alive! And I'm telling everybody, you ain't seen the video, and like a lot of people didn't see that video because it wasn't like popular like that. But they all thought I was crazy. They're like, oh, he's not alive. I'm like, well, I seen him. He jumped off the cross. You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah. Now you know how many videos came out after Pac died? How many artists dropped videos that were like dedicated to Tupac, and they had people
Yeah.
sworn it was Tupac. Master P, did you see that video? The song he did dedicated to Tupac. It was like my homies or something like that. It was on the West Coast Bad Boys mixtape on No Limit and shit. But Master P did a video, and there's a Tupac look-alike in there and shit, like
Mm.
playing the role, and he's going to like the in the cemetery and all that type of shit. And because I guess Master P and used to dance or something, dog. Because you know he's from Richmond, California, and you know
Yeah,
Pop.
yeah, 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 yeah. They knew each other and shit. That's
Yeah,
why like a lot of them
yeah.
dudes. Same thing with what's me call it? The dude from Florida. I forget his name. It'll come to me.
Yeah.
The guy who put on Trina. Who's the guy?
Oh, Trick Daddy.
Trick Daddy. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
That's why he always said thug, like baby, cause I'm
yeah.
a thug. Yeah, 'cause he knew Tupac and
Yeah.
shit.
Speaking of that, Southwest CC was just playing that song the other day. She was playing that video was on. I heard it and shit. You don't know that, nah, nah. She a big
Yeah.
Trina fan and shit. Fucking so.
I was locked up when I was young in Lima. Fucking that song would wake me up. They would put that shit on like during the day when BT used to be good actually.
Right. We'll play music,
Yeah.
videos. Yeah. No, but they still was hating on underground. That's what I never got. Like, why wouldn't you play? Like, you had to have like somebody behind you, the machine. You had to have the machine behind you to
That
get.
BT late night shit had some wild shit on it. Yo, they would play all kinds of shit. You know what I'm talking about? That after dark BT after
Yeah.
dark shit. They had titties on there and shit. Like it was
You had the
wild. Like
box. The box. Y'all got the box in
no,
Philly.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah, we had the no, I'm talking about the BT like after dark. Like it was like
Yeah.
a like the I guess to compete with the box. But yeah, I
Right.
know the box too. But yeah, BT they would show all kinds of shit like artists I never
Yeah.
heard of, like a lot of underground artists and
You
shit.
used to be able to call in and like request videos and shit. Like fucking call in and you would request some
What up,
shit that.
Jay?
Yeah, Jay, what up, though? The Detroit Go Getters in the building. Jay, what up, though? Now we just on here. What was we just talking about? I
Uh,
just forgot. We was talking about all types of shit. Drake shit, the Kendrick shit, Drake's crib getting shot up. What you think about that, Jay? You think Detroit Go Getters in the building too? What up, though?
oh, yeah, my buddy said that he thinks that Drake had one of his own people shot, like on purpose. That's what he's saying. So he's faking everything. He's shooting his own people.
Yeah, that's what I
Like,
heard
look,
too. People.
you heard that shit too?
Yeah, that he,
Allegedly,
yeah,
allegedly.
that he, it was a publicity stunt. And and that's fucked up if that was a publicity stunt and he shot one of his own mans and shit, his own security and shit out there. And I'm sure Drake wasn't the one pulling the trigger allegedly if he that was the situation, you know what I'm saying? But you know, this is our opinions. Opinions aren't facts. And it ain't our job to fact check that shit. That's what y'all
That's that
gotta.
song. That's the road he lives on, Bridal Path. He has a song called like the name Bridal Path or something. Like I think it's named after that road he lives on.
Okay.
They said somebody drove by and just fired and shit, and the security guard was out there. I think this got hit.
That's what happened. Yeah, see, I didn't do too much research. I just caught. I was at work, and I got a notification of that
Yeah, you
MREC was live.
yeah you showed me.
Yeah, I sent it to you, and I was like, "Damn, that's why I didn't even know it was in Canada yet." You know what I'm saying? But the chat was so crazy in there, dog. Everybody was. It was mostly everybody going at Drake, and they was
Yeah,
talking about because people were like, "What's up?" MREC's like, "Well." The East Coast, I would guess Canada, you could call the East Coast because it's close to New York, but Canada goes from the east to the west. I mean, how can you? It depends on you got an East Coast to Canada and you got a West Coast to Canada and shit. Because you,
Canada's weird. Canada, like most of the country, like the population, like lives like only a couple miles away from like America. Like the
yeah,
rest of it's like empty. It's like all
I'm
empty. But
right across from Detroit, and it's like a city. It's a popping city. You know what I'm saying? A town, but it's nice over there. There's no drama. Everybody gets along. The cops that walk the street don't got guns on. Well, it's been some years since I ain't been there since I was like 20, 21, something like that. So it's been some years, but back then, I got a ticket. I had a warrant in Canada for years. It was like for drink or alcohol in public or some shit.
Public
I passed,
intoxication. I've had that before.
yeah, I passed a 40 ounce
I
out the window to. I was 19. I passed a 40 ounce out the window to my boy Cisco, rest in peace. And two cops walking up just happened to be walking by when I did it. And I was like, I thought you could drink on the streets. And they were like, y'all like just because we're from Detroit that we should know Canada's laws, but they're like, y'all are from Detroit. Y'all should know better being from Detroit. And I was like, I thought you could drink on the streets. I was like, shit, we be outside drinking 40s in my neighborhood and shit. And
yeah.
this he gave me like a 500 and something dollar ticket, dog. I ain't never paid that shit. No, I never got no repercussions. I'm not allowed in Canada anyways. They even tried to cross me in Southwest CC. Went over there because the bars closed in Detroit, and we wanted more liquor, and they got it like half price at the duty free shops at the when you cross the bridge. So we're thinking we can just drive over on the Detroit side, go to the duty free shop, grab us a couple fists or a couple fucking liters or whatever and shit,
Yeah.
and then fucking come back. But we had to go across the bridge to the Canada side and come back around, and Canada stretch this out, you know what I'm saying? And fucking it right away they call my name up there and I go walking in there and they're like, so you been in prison in America, eh? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, well, you can't come over here, eh? This and that, like fucking. I'm like, well, what I got to do to be come to Canada? And it was like a whole bunch of shit. Like, you got to get a lawyer, you got to go to court, you got to do this, do that. And I'm like, I'm good, dog. Canada ain't that special. And they let us keep our liquor and shit. So we shot back across the border with our liquor and shit. So it was all good. It was just we wasted like 2 hours, 3 hours drunk on the other side. They didn't even give a fuck we were drunk and shit.
Hmm.
Like fuck, we were all fucked up. Fucking, we came from the bar. The bar closed at 2, so fucking we was like, damn. And that the duty frees were 24 hours and shit at the border and shit where you cross. What's going on in the chat? Detroit Go Getters. Hold on, I'm gonna
Yeah.
read that.
Yeah.
Move, move. Let go some music. I'm definitely gonna check that out. Yeah, shout out to the street troopers. Call outside and more. I'm gonna definitely check it out. You already know. As soon as I typed in Street Troopers, the first track that popped up was that one with Cheddar Boy Malik, and that shit was a banger. I posted it in the Hood Smoker Roundtable and shit. Yeah, I got you, Detroit Go Getters. I'm most definitely gonna check that out. So, what page is it on? Is it on your YouTube? Is it on? I didn't see. Hold on.
It's on
Which
his channel.
page?
He said.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go to your channel for sure. Everybody go to the Detroit Go Getters channel and shit. Yeah,
Hell
I'm gonna
yeah.
pin your comment to the fucking top of here. Drop the link in there, Detroit Go Getters, and I'll pin that to the top of the chat. Pin the link to the video and shit, and we'll definitely play it too. You already know how we do. We got Jamal Ward too coming on. He's a rapper and an actor. He was in this movie. God, I can't think of the name right now, but it had who else was in the movie with him? Damn, I just watched the trailer too, and I know the movie. Son of a bitch, I can't remember, but it had Blade's son was in it. Blade Icewood, rest in peace. The Great Lake Ruler and shit. People always put him on the top of the Mount Rushmore. Yeah, I know you could drop the link right in here. You moderator
Yeah.
Detroit Go Getters. If you copy the link, you can paste it in the chat, and it'll people can tap on it that come in here.
It's good on
And I'll
my
put it in
channel.
the chat. Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. Like on my channel, I just go and hit the button on the top.
yeah,
Copy and paste that shit. And people are like, "Oh, you give
yeah.
me your link."
Uh,
Um, I put it like twice on my Facebook because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
right. But yeah, drop the link in there if you can, Detroit Go Getters. Otherwise, I will definitely just type it all in. But it makes it a lot easier. Then I can copy and paste it off this too and shit. But oh yeah, brother King X sent me a couple unreleased tracks. He got some new music in there. Fire though. He dropped two fire ass tracks, and the one he got his hook. on the hook, he got his producers on there, and his producer was ripping on the hook and shit. That shit, he was like doing that, kind of doing a little bit of tongue twisting a little bit, but it was dope. It sounded dope and shit. The music went hard, even though it had a positive message. It was hard. That's what I always say. Like, just because you a conscious rapper, don't mean that you're weak and shit. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, I understand that, but there are a couple weak ass conscious rappers out there. You gotta admit. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
Talib.
I ain't saying no names.
I'm gonna say Talib because we already, everybody already knows how we feel, how we are with Talib, and we didn't, like I said, Talib was never on our radar. He came at us. He wanted to consistently tag us and shit and
Yo,
call us out our names and all this shit. So when
he
we
like
do,
hit up any people you knew, like friends and shit. Like he did that shit to me, man. Like
he tried,
it's
but everybody he would try to hit up would roast his ass. That was the same thing that happened with Benzino. Benzino is doing the same shit. Right now, he's researching the whole Hit Smokers podcast. Detroit Go Getters, Benzino's watching y'all and shit. Fucking, you see, he's watching you, Chester McFly. Christopher Jordan, he's watching you. He's
hell
watching
yeah.
everything. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to find out everything he can about us because Ryan Glover, I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. This is, you heard it here first on the Hood Smokers podcast. Shout out to Ryan Glover. But
Yeah.
Ryan Glover and
Ryan
Benzino,
Glover's the man.
they got a track coming out.
That's
And
cool.
yeah. And he wants to, like Ryan Glover already knows he can come on our platform anytime. He can come on the Hood Smoker podcast. Just let us know he can come on there. So he can come on with the track without Benzino. Like, but he wants to bring Benzino on. So I'm sure Benzino's doing his like as much research as he can. And I mean we blazed him kind of, but the way we blazed him was like it was all facts, dog. We just uploaded like the police leaked shit of him
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
it wasn't like we didn't even turn him into a character yet. So get ready for that. Benzino, you better get it right because you gonna get turned. You see how we doing shit. We don't just drop and we'll drop a diss track. You know what I'm saying? Don't think we won't. We were they used to call us toxic for dropping diss tracks. Now it's like Drake and Kendrick and them done made it so it's not toxic and shit. Now it's okay to drop diss tracks and shit on people.
I used to always do that. I told you I used to drop diss tracks on all kinds of people all the time. Like when I was younger and shit. But it was fun. Like we would make diss tracks. We have some rules. Like don't talk about like my family. You know what I mean? Or if anybody got kids or any shit like that. Just keep that shit off the. And when you cross that line, it's like all right. I'm talking about your dead grandma. I
Like,
don't give a
I
shit.
dropped two diss tracks, but it happened to be in 1 year, and I got labeled a diss track rapper, and it was crazy. And the one guy, he's not alive anymore. Rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? Product. He called himself Product from the D. Jay
Hmm.
Regan. He just recently passed the last couple months. But it was a whole thing about like it was a whole history behind that. But his saying was say something. He used to be on like radio and shit like that and say something, say something. So I called the song "Say Something," and I got a bunch of people at the beginning of the video. If you, the video's on here, if you want to go check it out, it's called.
Yeah,
It's got a whole bunch of people on there talking. They're like, say something," like clips of them, and then I do my the diss track, and then at the end, it's got this one dude who we don't rock with no more and shit. At the end, freestyling and shit. But fucking, I'm not even gonna mention him and shit. But shout out to Monte Cristo and shit. He knows what I'm talking about and shit. But I told you
that's
those one.
funny.
But yeah, it's a dope track though. And then the Benzino thing, which happened because there was like 1,000 comments under a post Royce made, like about bars and music and shit like that. Everybody was saying, and it had about Benzino not having no lyrical skill type shit, and
Yeah,
fucking then Benzino fuck. So I leave a comment and I was like, bro, bar for bar, there's no Benzino. You don't even. I mean, he ain't even on your level. I mean, I was like, Royce, he'll smoke him and shit all day. Like he ain't
yeah. He's
even.
not in the conversation.
Yeah, and out of all these comments, Benzino picked mine to just start coming at me in the chat hard as hell, like troll the shit out of my comment. And then my homeboy, shout out Smoking Joe, who's part of KDT. He jumped in there and started going in on Benzino. And fucking next thing you know, Benzino's in my inbox and he's going on my page. And it was around Christmas time. And I had just posted a picture with me and my youngest son and my youngest daughter, who was 16 and 15 at the time. And I got my arms around, now they're grown and shit, they're in their 20s. But fucking I had my arms around them and shit. Would take a picture by the Christmas tree and shit. It's Christmas time, and Benzino left a comment under there like "I'll nut on her face," talking about my daughter. It was over after that. I got videos up
I
here of me
get
calling Benzino off Instagram and shit, and I'm like, dog, use a like when I come to Detroit, I'm gonna fuck you up. I was so pissed, dog. I went to the and then but I had like a week before I ended up dropping the diss track. Like I was planning on just crush, like going in like gangster, like threats, everything, all that shit, murder him, like hit him up Tupac style.
yeah.
But then I started looking, researching them before I dissed them, did the track before I went to the studio, and fucking so I started looking up. He was crying in the back of a cop car. He got evicted out his crib. Fucking, I was like, man, this dude, his daughter was going in on him. I'm like, dog, this dude is fucking like, he's a wreck, dog. This dude's a wreck. Like the Detroit Go Getters when they came on the show and shit. You know what I'm saying? On Instagram said like they ain't gonna roast Benzino because they feel like, he's suffering from mental ill health and shit, and that shit's real.
Yeah.
Mental health is real. We know that. I got homies
No, I
that,
know that.
but so but fucking so I changed the song to Benzino Needs a Hug. And like I said, his only like I even say that your only comeback, Jack, was how you was black, and I'm a honky that raps with shit you telling the facts. I can't name one of your tracks, and I ain't trying to be funny. Stevie J gave you a slap and made you look like a dummy. Ain't no love in hip hop. You disrespected the ones down. You should have bit your tongue when you said fuck the underground, cause he said that shit too. He was like fuck you
Mm.
underground rappers and this and that and all this other shit. And then and he kept calling me a stan because I was from Detroit. And I'm like, dog, like, I'm not a stan. Like, yeah, Eminem, yeah, shout out to Eminem, whatever, and shit. Shout out
Shout
to
out
Eric.
Eminem.
Yeah, but I'm not a stan. I'm not like a fucking fanatic. I don't go crazy. Oh, it's Eminem. I'm going crazy. I've been in the studio with Eminem in '97 before he was famous. I've been to his show when he first blew up at an illegal rave party and shit. You know what I'm saying? Fucking, it's like I'm not. Eminem's really was in the hood, like the Detroit Go Getters always say. He was really
That's
out there in the
crazy.
hood and
He
shit.
was like
Like
rapping over like techno music and shit.
who him?
Yeah.
No, he was rapping over straight boom bap beats and shit.
Oh, you said at a rave. That's why I was asking.
Nah, hell no. The raves, dog. I met Biz Markie and DJ Jazzy Jeff at a rave in Detroit. I found out they was some like, I grew up on them like when I was younger, and so I'm thinking
Yeah,
like DJ
yeah, yeah.
Jazzy Jeff. I'm not thinking they're really like gangster like that. But DJ Jazzy Jeff was a fucking G. He was there at the illegal
Yeah,
rave
he-
party in Detroit, and fucking it was pop. Biz Markie too. Rest in peace, Biz Markie, dog. Fucking he was there, and he was hanging with like they was the street motherfuckers that brought him to Detroit to rock this rave party. You know what I'm saying? And DJ.
Jazzy Jeff's the only reason that Will Smith had any street cred. You know that, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. And did you ever hear what MC Shan? Did I tell you what MC Shan said about that whole situation with the Fresh Prince of Bel Air's thing and shit, the TV show? What
Nah.
happened? They came at Shan first. MC Shan was popping back then and shit, like
Yeah,
real big.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
the bridge war was going on with like KRS-One and all that. And I mean, Shan was that guy back there in New York in hip hop. If fucking they wanted Shan to play the role, it wasn't going to be called the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. It was going to have a different name, but they wanted Shan to be a part of it, the star. And Shan was like, they wanted. Damn, hold up. But like, what up? My interior lights. But they wanted Shan to be. Y'all can still hear me. Hold up.
I'm about to go upstairs, so I'm about to be dark too.
Yeah, but Shan, he fucking said they wanted him to do some old Diddy shit. You know what I'm saying? They was on that Diddy shit.
uh,
So Shan passed, dog, and he was like, all I gotta say is about Will Smith, because like shout out Panda Chop, he interviewed him and shit. He said this shit on the Panda Chop show and shit. He was like, so he ain't saying Will Smith got his booty cheeks clapped, but that's what they type of shit they were on. And you
I
find
mean, think about it though. The movie he made, like Six
Paul,
Degrees of Separation. You know, I'm talking about that movie.
yeah, how
His first
can
movie.
Yeah, I never watched that movie because I always liked Will Smith as a actor. So when I heard that he was like played a gay dude on there,
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
want to watch it, dog.
Yeah,
People
me
don't
too.
understand. Like I
You
know
feel
the
it.
younger generation and shit, they don't get it. Like when I was growing up in school, that wasn't like a normal thing like how it is now and shit. That wasn't normal.
Nah.
Like that wasn't none of this shit. This shit is that's why they be like, man, wondering why we be saying the shit we say. It's calling it hate speech. It ain't hate speech. We just don't. I mean, that shit to me, it's not right. Shit, like it's not. I'm not hating it, but if you're gonna do that, be that, then rep that. I got a daughter that's gay, but she got two kids. But she's been with shout out to her. I mean, she's been with the same girl for she's proposed on stage because her girl rapped with KDT and shit. Six. She got some tracks with KDT, and she proposed to my daughter on stage at a KDT show at Hot Rocks. That's the bar where Eminem pistol whipped the bodyguard and shit. Fucking
Oh shit, yeah. Pistol with a motherfucker bouncer 6'2".
yeah,
Them these
yeah,
bullets, sweat bullets.
hell yeah, yeah. Can alive be live? Yeah. Christopher Jordan, I see you, homie.
Hey, what's up, man?
and Red
Pito, this is
Red Door, can't say that last name. Diss tracks are a part of culture. Yes, they are. There's no such thing as a lesbian.
I
Uh,
mean, I think there is. I used to watch football with a couple of them.
yeah, no, it's just we grew up in different times. It's a different era, dog, and we gotta just recognize and like that's why like the OGs need to respect the fucking the young up and coming artists and MCs and just the young people. Period. We need to guide them. You know what I'm saying? But they need to listen too at the same time. That's the problem. These young cats. I mean, we were the same way. Thought we knew everything. And then you find out as you get older, you should have been paying attention to
Yeah,
the
I'm
OG.
going live.
So yeah, it's I don't even know what time it is right now. Damn, I know I got it. Shit,
Uh,
5. It's where you at, Parkhead boy? He said it's in the middle of the night. Well, it's been morning here though.
I don't know. What time is it?
It's like three something. I just looked and I already 306. Almost that whole number.
I see.
304.
She already has Siri.
Yeah, FGs is lacking these days, but they're still y'all need to still keep listening to the OGs. Just, there ain't no age limit on art, dog. Like
I
look at
think
Willie
what
Nelson. How many
music
years
comes every 10 years though. I think like something changes every 10 years in music. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
genres, different genres. Chuck D broke it down that during the 50 years of hip hop, he said there was every 5 years there's another genre of hip hop that style changes. So that means we would be on our 10th genre of hip hop, like 10th style change, like in hip hop. And that was out the mouth of Chuck D. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, no, that sounds about right. Um,
shout out to Scotland.
if
It's
you
8
look at
a.m. over
like
there.
different coasts and
Top of the
people have
morning
been.
to you.
What's up? 3 a.m. in the morning in Detroit.
I keep
Scotland. What's good, yo? What's up in Scotland, man? How you doing?
I keep hitting this same blunt till there's like nothing left and shit. I
I
smoke my
smoked two
blunt.
bongs. I don't want to sit down over here, man. Got me freaked out because I saw that big ass roach, man.
Yeah, but shit,
I got those Yeezy sock jaws on. Oh, you can see them. They funny, man.
mumble rap hasn't left for over 10 years. Mumble rap, what is mumble rap though? I mean, is Migos mumble? That's
Huppata, 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 huppata. Yeah, shit like that where like it's hard to understand what they're
do
saying
people
and if they
still
use
listen to
auto
mumble
tune
rap?
on it.
Do people still literally? I mean, the auto tune, yeah, but not
I
just
made a
mumble.
couple autos. I made an auto tune album on acid one time. It was actually fire. I have it. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
let Blantonio hear one of the song. I think I sent you one too, where I was like tripping and shit. It was like a 7 minute song. It's actually alright.
Yeah. Nah, fucking, I used auto tune one time. Rest in peace, Southwest Teasers, because I had this track called Cold World. We had a contest, and the winner won it was a KDT flag, a KDT shirt, a KDT CD, and this badass motherfucking like Rambo knife that we ended up having like problems getting it through the mail to mail it to the person and shit because they were in New Mexico, the winter. But to do the artwork for the track for the single, but the song was called Cold World. And it was me and the Mad Butcher on the track, and I wrote the he wrote his verse, but I wrote the hook and was singing the hook. And when I was singing, I did two versions of it, me without the auto tune and the shit with the auto tune. But I was like, man, I was like, I'm almost ready just to use the auto tune and shit. So I Butcher's like, Tease, he fucks with that auto tune. Butcher didn't fuck with the auto tune in his studio. He didn't like. So I was like, all right, bet I'm gonna go to Tease's to do the hook. So I went to Southwest Tease, rest in peace. He just passed in February of this year, but just before Creeper, rest in peace. But yeah, Tease put the fucking auto tune on my voice, all that. Cause I'd be like, it's a cold ass world that we're living in, cold ass world. Like I can't sing, dog. You know what I'm saying? I just can't. I wasn't like even. I tried to harmonize, not like that. I was harmonizing better than that. It's early and shit. I mean, fuck. I gotta get ready for work and all that good shit. But yeah. Anyways, teased through the auto tune on it, and I actually liked how I sounded better without the auto tune, even though the auto tune made me sound better and shit. I was like, but we put it on the album. I'm Tales. It's on Tales from the Gutter. I sent you the link. It's a playlist on the YouTube channel on the Hood Smoker podcast. Cause I just dropped a video like a visual and a track for every song once a day and shit. I did it for I forgot how many tracks were on it, but every day I dropped a new song and shit, and that's how I did it. And I added it to the playlist as I dropped it, and I was like, this is the only place you're gonna be able to find the record and shit. And I mean, it did decent numbers for how I did it and shit. You know what I'm saying? Everything was, and this is back before fucking the Hood Smokers podcast. This was in I dropped that record and it was around the same time. It was like right before we started the Hood Smoker podcast. I dropped the album and shit. So that's when I was like, because I didn't want to keep. It was either keep doing shows and staying in the studio. And I seen I done radio before. I was on deep, but that was radio. It wasn't like how this is, where we're talking to each other. We could see each other. We could see the comments. It was a motherfucker.
I was reading the comments. It's
Oh
funny.
yeah. No,
Do
I
you
haven't.
guys know Rodney? Who's Rodney? Rodney? Ronnie, I mean. Yeah,
Shout out Christopher Jordan. Yeah, the Rambo knife was the shit.
I didn't see that guy.
Yeah, if drugs are not good, y'all don't do drugs. Just say no. Like Dare. Remember that
Unless you're
Dare? Do
prescribed.
they still got Dare in schools? Is Dare still around? Does anybody know? I
That
was
shit don't
curious.
work. I remember like my cousin one time he had a dare license plate. He was like he didn't do shit. We got pulled over and the cop was searching me. I'm the passenger. This motherfucker's the driver, yo, because he had a dare license. He's not bothering him, he's fucking searching me. This shit was bullshit. I didn't have nothing on me though, but it was bullshit.
Yeah, I was gonna speaking again, yeah, but the cops shit for getting fucked with by the police. I was gonna have Blantonio's making some clips. Y'all get ready for him. But that's one I told him I was like, you got to make a clip of him telling the story about Eminem getting his ass beat by the Detroit police and shit. Dog. Like for the paintball situation and
Yeah, that shit was
the
fire.
real story of the paintball. You know what I'm saying? The paintball gun
Y'all gotta
situation.
clip that. Y'all gotta
Yeah.
take that clip.
No, that's coming out soon. That'll be up like within the next couple days. We'll have some clips from the Champ Town video, the interview, and we got Jamal Ward coming on. That'll be a dope interview. And Detroit Go Getters, I'll definitely play your track, dog. So tune in. That's Wednesday night. We go live every Wednesday and Saturday night on the Hood Smoker Podcast, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We're on episode 276 now. Almost done with our third season. There we go. Detroit Go Getters done.
Oh no, he froze up. Can you tap back in? Ooh, withdrawals real when you smoke every day. Insomnia. It's fine. Uh, well, these comments be popping right now, man. I'm live in the chat. All right, that's crazy. You're like frozen on the screen because like this is your live. I don't know. It happened to me before. Um, I mean, I could end it. You know what I mean? This is your live. You're the one who started this one, right? So like it's weird. Like I'm gonna have to end your live. I'm gonna have to go hit the link. Yeah, yeah, and I could add you back in, I think. New message. Message is held for review. I'm talking about host left. Go to channel. Hold on. I'm not leaving. What the hell's going on here? Automatic review. View message. Oh, what's going on here in the comments?
I'm back. I'm back. Yeah, I went back and
How'd you do that? How'd you
I
do
went.
that? Because I had that happen to me before. Remember, I had to end it.
Yeah, I went. I clicked on. I'm trying. I don't want to do it again. I was gonna pin the Detroit Go Getters. Hold on. Let me put it on that replace pin message. I went to pin the YouTube link to the top of the chat so everybody can go click on it and go check out the Detroit Go Getters, the Street Troopers, that new hard Detroit hip hop. And it took me to the video on YouTube. And when I went back, I tried to go back. It took me to the Hood Smoker podcast channel, and it was like live and shit. So I'm like, let me see if this shit was going on. So I clicked on it, and you were talking, but all I seen was like kind of a darkness on my side of the
Yeah,
screen.
yours just frozen. You were like,
Yeah, that's
these
crazy, dog.
messages. Some of these messages are getting held. I don't know what's going on. Like somebody's. Oh no,
Oh,
I hit hide.
we getting held.
These
We
already a
got the
message.
moderators in the building. We got Christopher Jordan in the building. We got the Detroit Go Getters in the building. What up, though,
Yeah, I don't
Parkhead?
know what was popping these comments.
Why the police and not continue? Oh, Eminem got his. Go watch. We had a special Cinco de Mayo episode Sunday night on the Hood Smokers podcast. We had the legendary Champ Town. He hangs out with the Red Rocker, Sammy Hagar. He got his own beer coming out. He's the fucking egomaniac. He's a Detroit legend. He's a staple in Detroit hip hop. He rocks with Ice T. He rocks with, like I said, Sammy Hagar. He rocks with Eminem. He was the one that the movie 8 Mile. That was his paint gun. That they was really out there driving up and down Woodward, shooting shit up with the ball gun. And the police ended up flicking them. There wasn't no ducking between the alley like in the movie, and they got away and all that shit. And Champ was one, and Champ was busting the paintball gun, but Eminem got stomped out by the police and shit. Yeah, go check
I
out
had to
that
find it.
outside by Street
Oh, you want a
Troopers.
cigarette?
I pinned the link to the top of the chat. But no, and that's what happened. So you can go check out the interview with Champtown, and we talk about Kid Rock. Like he was
I
the one
said,
like
let there be light.
When Kid Rock became a rapper and shit. Kid Rock came from a privileged family. His dad was one of the biggest car dealerships. Owned the biggest car dealership in
What's that name
Michigan.
you call him? Something
Rest in
Bob?
peace, though. He just passed. Yeah, Speedball Bobby and Kid Rock fucking like when he was going to be a rapper, they wanted him to follow Champtown. They wanted Champtown to show him how to be a rapper, how to move in the streets, how to move in the hood, how to move like a rapper and shit. Like we had shout out DJ Los. DJ Los was telling us stories about like how Kid Rock, how he's gone country now and all this, and like people from Detroit don't fuck with him, but he was like Kid Rock kind of turned his back on Detroit, but he was like, you can't erase that part of your life. He was calling him by his name, Bobby. He was like, "You can't erase that part of your life, Bobby." He was like, "You, that's part of your life." He was like, "You always gonna be a part of Detroit hip hop history. Kid Rock will always be a part of that. You can't take that away, no matter how
Yeah,
country you go now." And like Hush, he had different experiences with him. Like he tells a story when he was at this Hollywood party with one of the Pussycat Dolls. Kid Rock rolled up in it because he was signed to Geffen Records. Well, he's the one who helped put Eminem on Hush, and he was in a group called the Ruckus, but they were signed to Geffen Records under Interscope, and he ended up he was with a Pussycat Doll, and that's when they were popping. And Kid Rock came in with a Pussycat Doll, and I don't know, they had words. He tells the story. He had a different story about like he kind of went in on Kid Rock. You know what I'm saying? He just went in on him all out. But Champtown, like he was the one that showed Kid
You
Rock
know,
how
a
to
little
be a
bit.
rapper. Kid Rock came from money, you know what I'm saying? He came from a lot of money. He wasn't from the hood. But Hush was like, Kid Rock, I knew you when you used to DJ at my motherfucking high school. Don't try to act like you better than somebody and all this shit. Like, so yeah. And you know, Eminem, once he went on that Slaughterhouse cipher, the BET cipher that year, and
That shit was
he
fire.
yeah, he drew the line for Kid Rock. He was like, if you got a problem, like figuring out if we boys or not, he was like, I'll just put a line right here and shit. He's like, if you rocking with Trump, then you ain't rocking with me and shit. Because it was an election year. Eminem was in the
Yeah,
politics,
yeah, yeah.
shit like that. So, I mean, I don't get into the politics, but it's the whole rebel flag shit too. That's like a fucking the rebel flag was a war flag. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah,
really, I look at that as racist. I mean, if you watch that video
me
I sent
too.
you. Watch that video I sent you, dog. You'll see that there was some juggalos and some other motherfuckers started burning a rebel flag on top of the hood of the cop car and all that. I was right there, right in the front. If you watch that video, you see I got a lot of the fuck the police chants going and shit. I'm like, fuck the police, fuck them. Like I had that whole shit chanting that
And you
shit.
see that video? I made a video where it's like a flag like that, and I cropped it, and I was like, if you go like this, it looks like a giant L. And it took
Yeah.
an L.
Yeah. Shout out to Royce. Shout out his brother Kid Vicious. Make sure you check out the Kid Vicious been on the show shit at least 3 times.
I mean, I bet people around Detroit, like in the suburbs, probably love Trump around there. I guarantee it. Like, you know what I mean? I bet a lot of people like Trump in Detroit, actually. Probably be
No,
surprised.
not in the city of Detroit. In the
No, but that's what
suburbs,
I'm saying. In the
yeah.
suburbs, that's what I'm saying. Around Detroit, I bet there's a lot of Trump fans.
It is, dog. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
see? I
Dog,
knew
like I
that
said,
shit.
I work on construction. When I go in the outhouse, it's like that's like ghetto fucking like Facebook. Like they just take their Sharpies and write shit. Like you'll see Trump 2024, then you'll see it crossed out, and you'll see Sir 13 fuck Trump,
Hmm.
Texas, and this bitch fucking, and they're like talking shit back and forth like in the outhouse with a Sharpie and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Like these politics got people crazy. I try not to get into politics. I think Biden's a horrible fucking president. I think the country was at its best when Bill Clinton was president, and I don't give a fuck that he got his dick sucked in the fucking Oval Office, dog.
Yeah, yo. He was pretty
Everybody was
cool.
getting money, dog.
They say he was the first black president. That's what Snoop Dogg said.
Yeah, I heard that before too. Fucking he was fucking dog. Everybody was eating, it seemed like, from the small business owners to the big business owners to the dope dealers to the rappers. Everybody was eating, dog, when Bill Clinton was president, dog. We were all
Fuck
getting
yeah.
fucking, so I can't hate on him. I know a lot
And I
of people
remember
like,
like all the moms had like suburban cars, like the big ass, you know what I mean? In the 90s and shit.
yeah, Michigan is Motor City, Motown. That's why we don't got subways, because when they built the city of Michigan, or the state of Detroit, the city of Detroit is Motown, because that's why they don't have subways. They figured everybody was gonna have a fucking car and shit. So we got like the worst
That's
public
dumb.
transportation in the world, dog. We got
You
the
don't have
worst.
no L, so you don't have an L?
No, we don't got none of that shit. We got trains that'll take us to like Amtrak shit and Greyhound
Yeah,
buses and all that.
yeah, we got
We got
that.
all we got are city buses. Then we got a thing downtown that's like above the city subway. It's called the People Mover, but it only goes around downtown. It don't go all over the like how when you go to New York, every block is you can get off and shit damn near and
Yeah,
shit.
Philly, you can do that too. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
well, in
yeah.
Philly, you can go like on the L. It goes all the way down to like
Yeah.
center city, like the South Philly. Then it goes up north, the Northeast, and stops like at Kensington and shit, like Frankfurt and shit up there.
Right.
But then there's a line called the Broad Street line that goes up and down Broad Street. So like it goes through Philadelphia. So like with that and the buses, like you're pretty much covered. You can get by anyway. You know what I mean? Public transportation's not bad here in Philly.
No, Philly looks dope. I'm gonna have to come check it out. Like I said,
There's
it ain't that
some
far.
There's some
Yeah, I'm
crazy
good.
people on the L though. Like you'll see
I
some
can get to
crazy
Philly.
shit.
I can get to Philly just as quick as I can get to Chicago from Detroit. It's not that far, dog. Like fucking when we took went to New York, it took us all like through Pennsylvania and all that shit. Like we had to drive through all that shit. So we're checking out every major city. We even went out of our way in Ohio. We was going through Cleveland, Cincinnati. We just wanted to check them out and shit, like
You
just to
see
see.
Pittsburgh?
Yeah, we went through Pittsburgh, and that was the year that they won it too. Won the Super Bowl in Detroit and shit. I went through Pittsburgh. Damn, this light's going crazy. But yeah, we've been on this bitch for a minute. I know the clock started again. I see when
Yeah.
oh, but you were still live because I tapped in and it was in the comment. That's kind of weird. You could tap in while you're live on your own motherfucking chat. It's like
Yeah, that's
Chester
why I don't know how
McFly.
you got it. I was like, that's crazy. 'Cause I got the one time it messed me up. The same shit happened.
Chester McFly took over the Hood Smoker podcast and shit. You doing some fucking hacking shit over there. I'm fucking around. No, I clicked on the link. That's what happened. I clicked on that Detroit Go Getters link that all y'all right now go click on. You know what I'm saying? Check it out, bang it, share it, like it.
Oh yeah, and it pulled you off. That's what I figured that.
Yeah. But we're gonna go ahead and cut this out and shit and end this live. We've been out here for a minute and shit, dog. I gotta work
Oh yeah.
today. Long
Yeah, I
days.
gotta go to the doctor and I gotta get up early too.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'm gonna go back to sleep. I already started getting some caffeine in me and shit, so smoking my blunt. So I might be up for I might do some research, you know what I'm saying? Get my journalism on and shit. Watch that flick with Jamal Ward in it. I can't remember who else was in. Oh, Snap Dog. Shout out to Snap Dog. He's doing it big out of Detroit.
What's
He's
up,
Whack 100 tried to
what's up?
sign him and shit, and now he got like smoke with like Adam 22 and all them because they was talking shit because he wouldn't sign with Whack 100 and shit, and he called out. Oh, he was gonna fight Blueface and I don't know if it was celebrity boxing. I think it was celebrity boxing, but he was gonna scrap Blueface. They was actually training and shit for it, but I think Blueface got locked up or some shit.
Yeah, he's in
Fucking
jail right now.
yeah. Yeah, shout out to the East Coast. Shout out to the West Coast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Detroit. Yeah, Philly.
Yeah. Right, Philly in the building right now. We got Staten Island in the building. We got Scotland in the building. We got the Detroit Go Getters in the building. Make sure you go check out their new video that just dropped. The Street Troopers and shit. They dropped that Fires, Detroit Hip Hop. Make sure you like it, subscribe. It's all love. But salute everybody. Much love, Christopher Jordan. Catch us tonight. Shit, tonight at 8 p.m. We got Jamal Ward live on the Hood Smokers podcast. Go check out the playlist if you ain't ever watched none. You probably, I'm guarantee you, there'll be somebody on there that you're a fan of and shit that we had on the show, from underground to multi-platinum selling artists to Grammy-winning, award-winning artists like Big V from the Nappy Roots and shit. You know what I'm saying? We done had
And the
multi-platinum.
DOC.
Yeah, the DOC, fucking Mr. Servon, No Limit Records, Lil Rick, first artist to sell. We got Black Sea coming back on June 5th for the second time. RBL Posse. Don't give me no Bammer weed. We don't smoke that shit in the DET. Motherfucker. Much love, Parkhead boy. Appreciate you tapping in. Shout out to Scotland, like I said. Top of the morning to you. Salute to everybody. What up, though, to all the hood smokers? Much love. And catch us every Wednesday, Saturday Night Live. And go check out Chester McFly. If y'all ain't
Hell yeah.
he goes live all the time, so y'all and he got dope ass content. You'll definitely like the content. Go check out the shorts. He's got some dope ass shorts. Go check them out. And he's making the playlist, so you can go check those out too. So you can whatever kind of like content
I
you
got
want
the
to multiple
martial arts
content.
playlist. Yeah, so it's me
Yeah,
like doing
yeah.
commentary.
And it's dope. It's funny. Y'all like it and shit. Go check it out. Chester McFly. That's all you gotta tap on there. Chester McFly. I'll put the link in the comments when we get off here and shit, so people can just click on it. And I'll put the link of the Detroit Go Getters, the Street Troopers video in the comments too and shit. But much love, y'all. Thanks for tuning in, and make sure you catch us every Wednesday and Saturday night on the Hood Smokers podcast with me, Antonio Todd, Brother King X, and the rest of the Hood Smokers. Shout out Christopher Jordan. Shout out
Shout out Christopher Jordan.
Chester. I'll holler at you, dog. I'm gonna jump off here. We're gonna go ahead and end this motherfucker. Peace out,
All right.
y'all.
Peace, good.
I'm